U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner held talks with Qatar's prime minister as the U.S. and Iran hold separate discussions with mediators there in Doha. Iran's chief negotiator has warned his country is ready for war if the U.S. doesn't fulfill its commitments. Speaking on Fox News last night, Vice President JD Vance remained optimistic.
We have all the cards in the negotiation. We obviously want it to be successful, but even if it's not successful, we've accomplished the core mission, which is to ensure that the Iranians never have a nuclear weapon. In other words, it's a win-win outcome for the American people.
CBS News national security analyst Aaron MacLean joins us now from Washington with more on this. Aaron, I wonder what you make of the vice president's assessment there, that at this moment, it's a win-win for the U.S. no matter what, and the U.S. holds all the cards. What's the reality?
Well, the United States certainly holds quite a few cards, and the Iranian economy is in bad shape and was on track to be in really terrible shape had the U.S. blockade not been lifted earlier this month as part of this MOU. But I think it overstates the matter to say that the United States holds all the cards. For example, as Iranian shooting in the Strait showed over the weekend, Iran can still pose a threat to the global economy. It can hold the global economy hostage by reducing the amount of oil going out of the Strait of Hormuz. And there's this long-term dispute, of course, about who's going to control the Strait of Hormuz. Add that dispute to the dispute over the future of Lebanon and the dispute over the future of the Iranian nuclear program. And you have an extremely complex environment for these negotiations, which in a way are really just the playing out of this conflict in another form, because many of the serious issues between the two countries have just never been resolved.
And so despite the vice president putting an optimistic spin on all of this, does the issue come down to Iran's increased ability to control the Strait of Hormuz? It was not something it had flexed before the U.S. and Israeli campaign, and now it seems reluctant to give up any power over it.
Yeah. What really happened with this MOU was that both sides, the United States and the global economy broadly, and then Iran, we're staring down the barrel of economic catastrophe. Here in the United States and the world more broadly, there was an energy shock coming that would have dwarfed anything that we had seen earlier in the year. And of course, Iran was on the brink of disaster itself. So what the MOU achieved for both sides was a lifeline. That increased traffic through the Strait, even troubled as it is, has been important to the economies on both sides. Iran, meanwhile, wants more revenue. They're selling oil, and of course, they want access to these frozen funds. But the road ahead is just very, very unclear, very, very bumpy. And yes, Iran maintains massive leverage through its geographical proximity to the Strait and its sort of bloody-mindedness with regard to other issues in the file, like Hezbollah and Lebanon.
Yeah, major aspects of this conflict haven't changed just yet. Aaron, great to get your insight this Wednesday. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.